Hi guys, this is Shampriti Bhattacharya, and today I will discuss West Bengal State 2021 Paper 2 English. And this exam was held on 9th January 2022. Some day later, I maybe, make a video where I will discuss paper 1 as well. But in this video, as of now, I will discuss paper 2 English. Before starting the video, want to say three things. First of all, there are many questions that need subjective explanations. So for those questions, I will provide you my point of view. And if you have any other view than me, then please comment and let me know. Number two is that there are a few faulty questions for which the questions which are absolutely incorrect, I won't be wasting any time on them because we all guys will be given that number, given that marks. So number three is that there are many questions which are not completely incorrect, but the options are really confusing. For those options, I will provide my view. And if you guys have any other view than mine, then please let me know in the comment section. So without further ado, let's start our video. I will share my screen. And oh guys, before starting the video, please like the video if you do like it. And please comment and share with your friends and subscribe. Because who wants to wait till they give us the answer keys? Let's find out ourselves, right? Okay, so I will share my screen and I will discuss the answers with you. Okay, so in number one, we have the epigraph. We have the epigraph of J. Alfred Prufrock. Guys, don't pay attention to whatever is written, whatever mark is written over here. Just focus on whatever I am saying, okay? So the epigraph of T.S. Eliot's The Love Song of J. Alfred Prufrock reads thus. It is written in Italian, and we all know that it is from Dante's Divine Comedy. And it is, for your information, I will say that it is said by one person who is in the circle of hell in Inferno, and he is saying that, I will quote, "If I thought that my reply would be to someone who would ever return to earth or world," because it's a translation from Italian, "this flame would remain without further movement. But as no one has ever returned alive from this gulf, if what I hear is true, I can answer you with no fear of infamy." So definitely the right answer is this. If I thought that my reply were given to somebody who may someday return to this world. Number two, British commentators during the colonial period sometimes expressed amusement at the kinds of English used by their subject populations. Babu or Babu English of India attracted particular attention because it aspired to poetic heights in vocabulary and learning, despite being full of errors. Linguists today find a great deal in common between Babu English and the ornate style used by many British writers in the past centuries. So what is the Babu English, guys? Babu English is a kind of English that is very it is very ornate, and it is very old style English. Okay, it's very ornate and old kind of style of English, you can say, and it is not modern, and it is spoken by Indian people only, and Indian people who were in connection with British people, British officials. So it is very true that this English was spoken by the government workers, Indian government workers or clerks. So you can see the options given here are: Babu English was unlike modern English. Colonial masters appreciated Babu English. Babu English was used by government officials of English origin or Indian origin. I'm sorry. Babu English was perfect English. So definitely this is wrong. Babu English was not perfect English, as it is written over here that it was full of errors. Number A is Babu English was unlike modern English. Unlike is the opposite of like. So it was not similar to modern English, which is also correct. Colonial masters appreciated Babu English, which is also correct. Babu English was used by government officials of Indian origin, which is also correct. So here we can see number B is the correct option. A, B, C, those three are correct over here. Going forward to number 3, Virginia Woolf characterized the literary style of which English writer as loving and taking the liberties of a lover? Guys, this is William Hazlitt. This is William Hazlitt, and in the essay called The Common Reader, Virginia Woolf heavily praises William Hazlitt's writing style. Okay, she admired Hazlitt's writing style, and for that, she also said that William Hazlitt had such a power as an essayist. He could write as fluently as a lover can love. So his art of writing an essay is compared somehow with the potential of a lover to love someone. So here the answer is clearly William Hazlitt. Number 4, which of the following is not a science fiction film? Guys, here I have a huge problem. We can know, if we Google, we can see like Avatar, we know, most of us know that it is a science fiction movie, and E.T. is also a science fiction movie. But Necromancer and Vertigo, none of these two is so-called sci-fi movie. Okay, so Necromancer is a horror movie and Vertigo is a thriller, a psychological thriller. So I don't know which one will they choose. So here I am leaving it blank for you because it's kind of confusing. Number 5, William Wordsworth contested the view that the language of the age is never the language of poetry. Who was the poet who had expressed this view? Of course, we know that Thomas Gray is the answer. So Thomas Gray was the poet who expressed the view that the language of the age is never the language of poetry. So Thomas Gray will be the right answer. Number 6, it is again a descriptive kind of question. In his 1925 English review of Count Hermann Kieserling's Travel Diary of a Philosopher, Rabindranath Tagore made an important observation on travel writing. Man should not merely realize the fact of differences. Traveling reaches its best truth when through it we extend our spiritual ownership in return for our gift of sympathy. By extend our spiritual ownership in return for our gift of sympathy, Tagore means 4 options are here. We have to, like we have no other option to follow here rather than, other than in the what should I say, elimination method. I'm sorry, I'm stuttering a bit. I'm so sorry for that. Okay, so number 8, convert the people of the country to which we travel to our own religion because we sympathize with them. This is definitely a wrong option. This is not the option, because converting someone's religion into any other religion is not Tagore's moot point over here. Number B, feel close to the people of the country to which we travel because we appreciate and understand them. Okay, that can also be a good answer. So let's hold on to it. Number C, subject the people of the country to which we travel to our gaze because we sympathize with them. This can also be the right answer. Number D, write a treatise on the spirituality. No, it's not the answer. So write a treatise, it's not the answer. So it will be any it will be one of these 2 answers. Number B, feel close to people. So spiritual ownership. Okay, and subject the people of the country to which we travel to our gaze. This can also be the answer. So I'm kind of confused between these two answers. Okay, so now going to the second page. Guys, saying again, if you like this video, please do like it, and please do share it with your friends, and if possible, drop a comment. Okay, going to the we have already reached the next page. Number 7, the philosophers have only interpreted the world in various ways. The point is to change it. It is definitely the slogan of the Marxist literary theory. Okay. Number 8, who is the first Bengali actor to perform a Shakespearean character in a colonial theatre in Calcutta? It is Girish Chandra Ghosh. Girish Chandra Ghosh was the first actor from Bengal, first actor from West Bengal who performed in a colonial theatre in Calcutta, and he performed as a Shakespearean character over there. Number 9, which novelist says that he describes not men but manners? In Joseph Andrews, this is said by Henry Fielding. So it is Henry Fielding's words. Number 10, while discussing comedy in his Poetics, Aristotle refers to the ridiculous, which he defines as mistake or deformity not productive of pain, comicality of thought and design, admixture of satire and parody, element of fun, exciting laughter. Here, his say on comedy, we can see he says that ridiculous actually is equivalent to a mistake or deformity not productive of pain. So option A here will be the right answer. Number 11, there is no village in India, however mean, that has not a rich Sthala Purana or legendary history. What is the technical term for using Bhasha words in an English text? This is not language admixture. It's not language admixture. It is not pidgin English. Okay, it is not pidgin English. Code breaking, though, of course, it's not code breaking because it doesn't break any code over here as such. And number D here is code switching, which will absolutely be the right answer, because I will very briefly talk about code switching here. Code switching means when you are talking in, when you are speaking in one language and you, for a brief moment, you just switch to another language just to clarify what you are saying. Okay, that is code switching. You can say, you can see here Sthala Purana. Here, very quickly, the speaker switched to another language just to clarify what he is actually saying. So this is code switching. So number D, option D will be the right answer. 12, which book by Rohinton Mistry deals with, well, here Rohinton spelling is wrong. It's very, it's very sad that they're mistaking in this, they're making mistakes in writing the name of the writer. So Rohinton Mistry deals with the Indian emergency. Guys, here I have one thing to say, that such a long journey, well, Family Matters and Tales from the Firozabad, two of them do not deal with the issue of Indian emergency of 1970s. But Such a Long Journey and A Fine Balance, both of them use the context of 1970s India, that is the Indira Gandhi's India when she declared the emergency. But the right answer over here will be A Fine Balance, because this is the one book which extensively deals with and which exclusively deals with the fact of the effect of Indian emergency of 1970s. Okay, coming to number 13. According to the SQ3R model of studying a text, the 3R stands for, well, the 3R actually stands for read, recite, review. Read, recite, review. So none of these options is read, recite, review. So the closest is here, read, recall, review. I don't know whether this will be the right option, but this is the closest to the original one. So I think this might be the answer, though I'm not sure. Number 14 is pretty easy because the ecstasy, the pulley to his coy mistress, and the good morrow, the poems names are given and the poems lines are given. Here, the most famous poems are most popular, I would say. Most popular poems are To His Coy Mistress and The Good Morrow. So you can see To His Coy Mistress has this line, my vegetable love should grow, and to the good morrow has this line, my face in thine eyes, thine in mine appears. So C is definitely 4 and D is definitely 3. So we can see in here it is the option. So option B will be the right option. Guys, I think I am able to help you, and I think you are liking the way I am trying to explain this. If I make any mistake, if you guys have any doubt, or if you guys want to say anything to me, if you guys want to suggest anything to me, how I can sort of, what should I say, improve my way of explaining things to you, please feel free to do that, because we learn with our mistakes. So if I do mistakes first, if I make mistakes, please forgive me and please suggest me the way I can improve. Okay, so number 15, which of the following books is written by Jürgen Habermas, and it is definitely the unfinished project of unfinished product of modernity. It is a translation, so the translated title varies from one to another. Some titles say that modernity and unfinished project, the unfinished work of modernity, the unfinished project of modernity. Well, they have given the unfinished product of modernity. Definitely this will be the answer. Number 16, matching. It is also a matching exercise. The Last Supper, Balzac, The Ambassadors, and Bach, and Saracen, Cantata, Leonardo da Vinci, and Hans Holbein. These are the answers. These are the right side. So we can definitely see the Last Supper is done by Leonardo da Vinci. And if we know only one answer, you can see it is very clever to do this. One is matched with the 3. So if you know only one answer, you can still solve this question. Going to number 17. Pray, would you know the reason why I'm crying? The comic muse, long sick, now a dying. And if she goes, my tears will never stop. This guys is which is the play? This is written in the beginning of some play. Sheridan's The Rivals, Congreve's Love for Love, Etheredge's The Man of Mood, and Goldsmith's She Stoops to Conquer. And the right answer is number D. She stoops to conquer. Guys, this is a repeated question. I can't remember, but I think it was asked in either UGC NET of some year or GSET of some year. Okay, so in order to score good marks in these kinds of competitive questions, it is very important to study the previous year's paper. So you might get a couple of questions in common, okay, and it also builds confidence in you if you solve previous year's questions. And if you are a beginner, we always when we start off with the preparation of UGC NET or SET or GATE or any competitive exam like this, we are at a loss. Well, English literature is a vast ocean, and like we just lose ourselves when we start preparing. It is a very good way to start off with the previous year's papers, because then you can build kind of a pattern of questions that are asked in this kind of exam. Because more than what is needed to read, it is important to know what not to read. For that, you should cancel out, and you should cancel out wisely. So for that, studying previous year's questions is very important. Okay, number 18. Who charged Conrad with the excessive use of imprecise adjectives? Well, honestly, here I was very confused between 3 things, B, C, and D. But then I cancelled out D, and I was again confused with Chinua Achebe and Edward Said. Well, the right answer will be Edward Said. Number 19. Which of the following is not a work by Peter Handke? Well, A Sorrow Beyond Dreams, The Moravian Night, The Slow Homecoming. All three of them are the work by him, work by Peter. But the Unconsoled, well, if you know Kazuo Ishiguro wrote this novel, The Unconsoled. So even if you haven't heard of Peter Handke and these works, you can still answer this if you know that Kazuo Ishiguro wrote The Unconsoled. So number D will be the right answer. Going to number 20, which is again a little bit tricky. Well, the rabbit duck puzzle. Which of these theories use the duck rabbit puzzle as a key explicatory motive? If you know the duck rabbit puzzle, you can also search it in Google. It is a picture where it is if from one angle you see it is a duck, if from other angle you see it is a rabbit. So it solely depends on from which angle you are looking at the picture. So seeing from that point of view, I think reader response theory will be the right answer, because reader response theory says that it solely depends on how you read it. Okay, how the reader interprets it. It's the beginning and end of the text. So reader response theory goes well with this puzzle. So I think reader response theory might be the right answer for this. Well, I'm also confused here with the Jungian philosopher psychoanalysis. So I'm a little bit confused between these two. So let's see what our WBCSC reveals as answer key. Number 21. Which of the following poets did not write about the Second World War? Well, I guess Alan Lewis, Kate Douglas, Sidney Case, three of them wrote during World War II, but David Gascoigne actually died before the World War II started. So I think David Gascoigne might be the right answer. Well, number 22. Who is the author of the Indianization of English? Braj Kachru. Braj Kachru is the author of the Indianization of English. Braj Kachru is the right answer, which is option B. Going to the next page. All right. Guys, I hope you are bearing with me and all my mistakes. If I have made any, if I'm making any, if I'm going to make any, please forgive me. I'm saying again and again because I'm just a beginner. So please bear with me. Number 23, language bears within itself the necessity of its own critique. Language bears within itself the necessity of its own critique. This observation is ascribed to Jacques Derrida, Roland Barthes, Geoffrey Hartman, Noam Chomsky. Definitely Jacques Derrida. Okay, Jacques Derrida is the one who talks about the ambiguity of language, the ambiguity of the nature of language. Okay, so everything is within the language itself. You don't have to go outside the language to find the meaning of a text. So definitely Jacques Derrida is the right answer. The original title of Horace's Ars Poetica is, well, it's a factual question and it is purely, I mean, it's very difficult to answer because we all know it as Ars Poetica, but the right answer will be Epistula ad Pisones. Number B, option B. Well, 25. Match the words in list 1 with languages from which they were loaned in list 2. Okay, caught, Hindi. We know caught, cut, and Hindi. It came from Hindi. So if we know only this, we can very easily solve this answer. That is option C. Okay, guys. So option C. Yeah, option C will be the answer. 26. The title of Thomas Hardy's Far from the madding crowd is borrowed from, of course, Gray's elegy written in a country churchyard. And you know, guys, this question is repeated. It was repeatedly asked in NET and other set exams also. Just excuse me, guys. I will just turn off my night light mode. Okay. Okay, Shodh Ganga. Shodh Ganga is a reservoir of research thesis in India. I was confused between reservoir of research papers and thesis. So the correct answer is reservoir of research thesis in India. So option B will be the correct answer. 21. Which of the following is true about the field experiment of ELT research? Well, we all know that ELT means English language teaching. So it is very important to the experiment should be valid internally. It should have an internal validity. It should have an external validity as well. So both of these are important. So number C, option C will be the right answer. The ELT field research should have high internal and external validity. Well, metaphysical validity, of course, it's not important. Metaphysical validity, why would be important in ELT? A practical, very serious practical work like ELT research. So it is definitely be, it will definitely be cancelled out. And number C, option C will be the right answer. 29, the 1966 film Dil Diya Dard Liya is an adaptation of. It is, guys, an adaptation of Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. It's a Hindi adaptation of Wuthering Heights. Number 30. Match the playwrights in list 1 with their place in list 2. Well, if you know only one answer, you can again answer it. Okay. Asif Karimoy wrote Goa. Nissim Ezekiel wrote Do Not Call It Suicide. Okay. Ramu Ramanathan wrote Cotton 56, Polyester 84. And Abhishek Mujumdar wrote The Genes of Edka. So there you go. Option C will be the right answer for you. I will go to the next page very quickly. Okay, time is running and I have to be very quick. Okay, option number 31. Which literary critic wrote that language of poetry is the language of paradox? The language of poetry is the language of paradox. This is Clint Brooks. Okay, the whole concept of paradox, language as paradox, is given by Clint Brooks. Okay, he says the heresy of paraphrase is also another concept given by Clint Brooks. Okay, and I will write it over here for you guys to note. So the heresy of paraphrase. Why is it heresy of paraphrase? Because he says that it is never possible to summarize a poem. It's never possible to summarize a poem. Whenever we are summarizing a poem, we are definitely missing out on something. Okay, it is never possible. So that is the heresy of paraphrase. And here only he says that the poetical language is the language of paradox, because a poem is seldom something that it actually says it is. If you understand what I say, if a poem says that death is life, poems use this kind of language. Okay, poems always differ. Okay, they do not want to be caught in your stratum of sort of understanding. Okay, so they always go, like they always sleep. That's why he calls that the language of poetry is a language of paradox. So you have to remember that this is these are the words said by Clint Brooks. Number 32. Who is the author of the book The School of Abuse? Well, it is definitely option D, Stephen Gosson. He wrote The School of Abuse, and with like after this, as a response of Stephen Goson's The School of Abuse, Philip Sidney wrote Defense of Poetry. Okay, number 33. Here, I am not sure what will be the answer, but I am a little bit confused about text and paratext. So, well, meta text and subtext, I don't think this will be the answer. Text and paratext, any one of these I think will be the right answer. So guys, if you have the answer and if you have your clarification, please do let me know in the comment section. Going to number 34. Raymond Williams' theory of cultural materialism was influenced by, of course, it was influenced by Marx. Raymond Williams was a Marxist theory and was a Marxist theorist. I'm sorry. And his cultural materialism, his idea of cultural materialism was heavily influenced by Karl Marx. Number 35. Well, number 35. Shakespeare are contemporary. Political Shakespeare, the Shakespearean Tempest, and reading Shakespeare historically. What will be the right answer? Can you guys tell me what will be the right answer? I'm giving you a little bit time to find out on your own. Can you tell me? Can you guys tell me? And please do drop your comment in the comment section. I'm giving you time to think about it. So please drop your comment in the comment section. Well, I think Shakespeare, our contemporary, will be equivalent with, okay, I won't say the answer. I will leave for you guys to answer it in the comment box. Now, going to number 36. Well, it is again a confusing question, but I guess I can come to a conclusion over here. The Tintin comics, Bianca Castafiore repeatedly refers to Captain Haddock as Haddock, Hadrock, Padlock, Hopscotch, Drydock, and Hemlock. What are these examples of? The options are expletives, Johnsonese, Spoonerisms, and neologisms. Well, neologisms is not the answer because neologism means whenever you coin a new word. So it's not coining new words, I think. So I think it won't be neologism. Spoonerism it is not, because spoonerism is only when we jumble up the first letter of two words, first letters of two subsequent words. Like if we say that Tintin comics, we will say that Kin Tomics. Okay, that is spoonerism. Here we have two options left, expletives and Johnsonese. Expletives actually means swear words, okay, bad words. And Johnsonese means the ornate words. I think Johnsonese might be the correct answer over here, but I'm still confused between these two. Number 37, I.A. Richards' practical criticism inaugurated a new phase in the history of English critical thought. What is the book's subtitle? The book subtitle, if you know, if you just search this book in Google, or if you have read this book, it's a very important and very interesting book. I.A. Richards is the one who coined the term practical criticism and who inaugurated the practice of practical criticism. So a study of literary judgments, is the right answer. Number 38, which of these statements is not true of the wife of Bath? Her face was bold, fair, and red, which is true. She had 5 husbands, which is true. She had traveled to Rome and Athens, and she knew the art of dancing, which is also true. She had traveled to Rome, it is true, but she has not, it is not mentioned whether she has traveled to Athens or not. So I think this might be the correct answer over here. Next, who is not a member of the Frankfurt School? The Frankfurt School was a cultural Studies School, and Theodore Adorno, Jürgen Habermas. These two were definitely the two very strong members of this group. Number 3, Herbert Marcuse was also a very powerful member of this group, but Frederick Jameson was not a member of this group. So Frederick Jameson will be the right answer. Option D. Well, now I think I will discuss up to 50, and in a subsequent video that I will make after this, if you guys tell me if I should make that video with explanations, with more explanations for you guys, I will make that. And for this video, I will take it up to 50. After their arrival in Dido's Carthage, who spoke to Dido first and prayed for assistance? Okay, Aeneas, I think, is the right answer. 41, I'm not sure. I'm being honest here, I'm not sure. So Aeneas might be the right answer over here. So 41, which of the following is an effective filter in a second language learning? First of all, there is in Crescent's theory, there is nothing called effective filter. It is affective filter. I don't know why they have made such mistake. I don't know if they will give us the marks for everyone. But again, self-confidence and motivation, both of them are correct over here, if we take this as affective filter. So both of them are correct here. 42, in an essay of dramatic poesy, the play Dryden chooses to justify his defense of English drama is Epigraph or Silent Woman. You know who wrote it? Ben Jonson wrote it. The Rival Ladies, Measure for Measure, and Samson Agnostus. Epigraph or Silent Woman is the right answer. Dryden says that this is the most perfect play, and he defends the English drama. And he draws influence from Epigraph or Silent Woman by Ben Jonson. So option A here is the right option. Which of these theoretical approaches has, okay, we are talking about 43 approaches originated in India: race studies, ethnicity studies, subaltern studies, and ecofeminist studies. Subaltern studies is the right answer. Subaltern studies, option C is the right answer. 44, well, this is also a repeated question. It was asked in most probably K-SET 2018 or 19 or G-SET. Okay, so it is also a repeated question. That's why I am repeatedly saying you that please study previous year's questions. 44, a reading of literary work that is determined by its effect or emotional as impact on the reader has been termed as affective fallacy, aporia, intentional fallacy, dissociation of sensibility. Which one will be the right answer? Which one will be the right answer? Well, of course, affective fallacy will be the right answer. Wimsatt and Beardsley, in their essay, they talked about affective fallacy and intentional fallacy. What is the intentional fallacy? Intentional fallacy is when we put so much emphasis, so much importance on the author that we forget about the own power of the text. That is the intentional fallacy. When too much importance is put on the author's biography, author's context, and all that. And when we are so much involved in the text itself that we altogether neglect the context and history of the work, that is affective fallacy. So the answer over here will be option A, affective fallacy. 45, what is meant by intertextuality? Making a new edition of an existing text? No, of course not. Demonstrating relationships between texts? Yes. Plagiarizing from several texts? No. Quoting from several texts? That is also no. So option B here is the right answer. 46, which of the following prose works by Milton is believed to have considerable bearing on one of the major issues in Paradise Lost? Here, an apology for Smectymnus And the doctrine and discipline of divorce, both of them might be the answer, but I think the doctrine and discipline of divorce should be the most appropriate answer, because here he talks about the like properties, features of a perfect marriage, and in Paradise Lost also he deals with that subject. So doctrine and discipline of divorce might be the most appropriate answer over here, but still I am not confirming it. It will be confirmed only WBCSC reveals the answer keys. We have come to the very last part of this video. Who satirically 47 question that we are explaining. Who satirically described English as India's anti-tongue, as opposed to its many mother tongues? It is Prabal Dasgupta. It's Prabal Dasgupta. In one very famous essays of his, he talks about India's English, like Indian English as India's anti-tongue, English as India's anti-tongue. Very quickly, we will go to the next passage, and here we have a passage, and it was a typical, I will very quickly read the passage. It was a typical summer evening in June, the atmosphere being such in delicate equilibrium and so transmissive that inanimate objects seemed endowed with 2 or 3 senses, if not 5. There was no distinction between the near and the far, and the auditor felt close to everything within the horizon. The soundlessness impressed her as a positive entity rather than as a mere negation of the noise. It was broken by the strumming of strings. Tess had heard those notes in an attic above her head, dim, flattened, constrained by their confinement. They had never appealed to her as now, when they wandered in the still air with a stark quality that, like that of nudity. To speak absolutely, both instrument and execution were poor, but the relative is all, and as she listened, Tess, like a fascinated bird, could not leave the spot. So you can see these words are spoken by someone else. If you read the novel Tales of the D'Urbervilles by Thomas Hardy, you know that these words were spoken by Angel Clare. Okay. So to speak absolutely, both instrument and execution were poor, but the relative is all. And as she listened, she is listening. Okay, like a fascinated bird, could not leave the spot. So first question is, the atmosphere being in such delicate equilibrium and so transmissive implies that the time was twilight between day and night, the atmosphere charged with effusion of feeling. Number 49, there was no distinction between the near and the far, and the auditor felt close to everything within the horizon. Through whose point of view these words are presented? These words are presented from the author's point of view. The author is saying that was no distinction between the near and the far, and the auditor felt close to everything within the horizon. Number 50, to speak absolutely, both instrument and execution were poor, but the relative is all. I'm sorry, but the relative is all. Through whose voice are these words presented? Through whose voice these words are presented? It is Angel. Through the voice of Angel, these words are presented. So that's all for today. I will very quickly, very soon come with the part 2 of this video, where I will explain the rest of the question paper. Till the time, please take care and do keep reading, and let me know in the comment box how did you feel about the video, and stay tuned for my upcoming videos, and please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much.